Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Curtain. Today, we're diving into the world of set building and prop design. From the walls we built to the smallest objects on stage. These pieces don't just decorate the space, they help tell the story. So grab your hammers and your paintbrushes because it's time to take a peek behind the curtain. Alright guys, listen. According to the blueprints, the plank has to go there, and the holes go there.
Yes, sir. I'm ready, boss. Just tell me when and where. I love this thing.
Why isn't this locking? Why is it keep going down? I don't understand. How do you make it stay in place? Actually, wait. Is this even the right plans? Hey, look, guys, I found the brightest pink paint possible! Well, if that meltdown had you worried, don't worry. Let's go talk to the real pros who keep the set from actually falling apart. Oh, sorry. Hi, thank you for being here.
Good. Thank you for inviting us.
So, today, as you know, we'll be talking about set design and set building. How long have you been designing sets?
Well, set designing, it would have been late. I think that I've only done it for a couple of years because I never considered myself as a designer.
Okay.
When I did musicals with kids, you'd sort of design the set because you knew the story and you didn't have the sort of team that we have at Bruno Players. And in other groups that I've been with, I guess there were people that designed the set, but a lot of it was as we were building.
Okay. How about you? Or building?
Probably about 5 years doing the set design.
Okay.
Retired just before COVID.
Okay.
Did the first set design for Cliffhangers, and then all of a sudden everything was stopped.
Okay.
But yeah, after COVID eased up, I've done the last few productions, and yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. And when a director comes to you with a script, how do you figure out how the set's going to be built? Like, are there notes? Do they have notes? Or is it like...
They have their wish list.
They have their wish list, okay.
Yes, and that wish list is, you try to go along their guidelines, but you have to see what is possible, what is really feasible.
Okay.
And what we have stock-wise here.
Sure. And because I know some plays when you open like the script, there's like a page with like
The
how
description.
it looks.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, but I'm assuming you don't always go off of that, or not all plays have that.
I have tried, or if it doesn't have it in the beginning, then you go through it and you're seeing what details there are in the play itself.
Okay.
Some plays actually have it at the end where they actually have what the layout was.
So sometimes you have to like read through the whole thing, like, oh, I had it at the end.
Yeah. That's the first place I look.
And how much influence does the director have on the set design?
They, like I said, they have their wish list, and or I should say, I try to abide by their list and see what they want. I think one of the last performances we did, they wanted something, we just said, no, it could not be done. And they dealt with it, they accepted it after all.
They don't have a choice.
They didn't, because what they were trying to do would have changed so much on the set we've already done, and this was
Sure.
halfway through.
Okay.
So like,
okay.
No, you can't change it halfway through, please,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So sometimes you have to compromise, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Design-wise, when someone approaches you with a play, how long does it take generally to design your models or your set?
I'll probably do about good 15 hours beforehand, trying to sketch out, see what is needed, also the furniture that you need, colors, the layout, everything. So about 15 hours.
Okay, that's a decent
Yeah.
amount of time.
And that's just doing like the actual floor plan and what type
Sure.
of furniture we need.
And I'm assuming, like you mentioned, coloring is important as well.
Yeah. When I give it to the director to say, this is what I'm proposing, I will have the color scheme, the paint samples, and all that already laid up, and the drawings that I do will be in color.
So preparation is important.
And I've always based it on, I know
What we have
basically what we have here. So as it's being described to me, I can picture, okay, we've got to use
What you can use, yeah.
and it's going to look like this. And color has never been one of the things that I even pretend to do.
You let Lindsey take care of it. And how do you go about deciding if you want to build a bigger set or a smaller set when you have like the freedom to...
I think that's more the director. The last play was, they said, keep it simple.
Okay.
So it was very simple.
Which is fun for you guys.
Not for me.
No.
I like it more interesting, more detailed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You prefer simpler?
Well, I mean, we were told keep it simple, and then they actually didn't want it simple. They wanted it more complex after we'd gone through the exercise of keeping it simple.
Okay, so that's a challenge in its own.
Yep.
Okay. And what advantages or disadvantages are there in building a small set versus a bigger set?
The length of time it takes to prepare, set up, and take down. And trying to find supplies if you need certain materials or certain pieces of furniture. You don't have to go hunting on the marketplace for hours on end.
So like, a piano, for example.
Yeah. Being non-profit, you don't want to go out and buy one, so you see what you can find.
There we go. And how do you go about when you have like sets with special particularities, like secret passages or stuff like that?
Revolving doors.
Revolving doors.
Those must be fun to do.
That's a lot of, it is, yeah. And it was a lot of brainstorming after we knew what we were going to do as the stage, as the set. We sat down here quite a few hours on revolving door, how are we going to make it work? Sliding door, how are we going to do that? It was...
Yeah. That's the interesting part to me, actually. I get very interested in making something work.
Sure, because you're adding complexities, which is like out of standard. And then you have like, it's like breaking it down. So you got to figure out how it works to be able to make it
Exactly,
work.
yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Speaking of challenges, what was the most challenging set you've had to design and or build?
Murder mystery of the 1940s, would that be it?
That had its challenges, but the one where we put in the staircases are not easy.
Okay, exit laughing.
They exit laughing.
Yeah.
They have their challenges as well, but there's no question.
But that was a static stage. But the murder mystery, you actually had to have things moving and not jamming.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
That's challenge
Challenging.
as well. I'm assuming with the space that we have, you got to make sure it works, right? Before you get there.
The revolving door, as said before, had to be taken outside and tried out there.
That was a hoot.
Yeah, in the wind.
High wind, and we're taking this door out to see
A
if it'll
revolving door
revolve.
in the wind, yeah.
Once you have a completed design and model, what's like the next step?
As said before, brainstorming.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, we know what we have here, and for the next show I need a fireplace, but I don't need it colonial, I need it looking modern. So the other day Frank and I were in the fireplace area there saying, okay, if we take this and put on wood there, do this, do that, can we make it into a modern fireplace? And yeah, so it's brainstorming on everything.
So we'll see if it works.
This one will.
It will.
Yes, it will.
It will work.
I feel like you guys always make it work somehow. So.
We do. We
do.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the process of building, like the actual building. So, like I know we've had certain sets that were like with screens. So you have like I know you love the spiraling thing. What are they called?
Oh, the periactos.
Yeah.
And I was
Also
trying to
known
think,
as pterodactyls.
I was trying to think of the name this morning because we still have the remnants, the bones.
Yeah. Okay.
And my feeling is that we should actually be taking the bones apart because it takes a lot of space to store them.
But that must have been a challenge as well, because that was something that was new.
That was not fun, and it's not fun because I like to be able to see something work before we get there.
Sure.
And there were two aspects. One was because this is such a small area to work in, we had to build only a part of a periactos to see if it would work. But even there, getting it to rotate, we're in a very small space. So
Sure.
and then when you get over there with all the parts that you've measured out, what you have enthusiastic people to assemble it for you that don't necessarily have been involved in the assembly that you were doing, but
Sure.
they're enthusiastic. And those needed to be very precise to get them to work properly, and they were not as precise as they should have been, so they created problems for us on stage.
Challenges.
Challenges.
And how useful is it to have like a model and all that preparation? Like it must be, it's a good thing to have, right? that before all that brainstorming and the models and the maquettes and all that stuff. How useful is it to you guys when it comes to the construction phase?
Oh, a lot of it changes as you go along.
It was
It's
interesting.
useful, but
It's
it
interesting
changes.
because you're the one that designed the cliffhanger, because I was at home trying to go like, okay, how are we going to make this work? She wants this wall here and a wall here, and how do you hold up one wall with a wall behind it with a passageway that has to be used? So, yeah, that gave its own challenges. Now, we never actually got around to
So doing
assembling
that
it,
one. No.
but I had actually done a maquette to see how we could actually achieve what needed to be done.
I'm assuming you guys sometimes have to start building before the finalized model is ready.
Yes.
You don't have a choice because we have about 2
Time
months.
is limited. Yeah.
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 So that's how, regardless of how big the set is, that's how much time you guys have to build.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming also with the French side, you're also restrained with timing as well.
I don't know if they can pick that up on camera, but Lindsey's been down here claiming
Yeah,
everything.
all of the flats have already been flagged for the next production, and half of them have been painted already.
Okay.
We've been busy since before Christmas, so a good month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Because we haven't really run across situations where we both want the same flats,
Luckily.
but that could happen,
sure.
where the group that's going second will end up painting over at Marcel de Lude.
And well, speaking of, what are some of the challenges in having to build a set that can be easily taken down and put up and moved and everything? Because I know some troops have it where they can build directly on the stage. We don't have that, so that must be a challenge in itself.
Yeah, but building on stage has its own challenge. I've done both because I was involved with Ottoman Players, where we built on stage, and I was involved with Park Players, and they build on stage, and everything they own is stored in the basement, which
Okay.
means they have to move it up.
Okay. But I guess one of the advantages they have would be if it doesn't work, they can refix it right away, type of thing.
Well, so can we, because, I mean, you have a very good idea of what's going to happen, and we try things out as much as we can here.
And we do take us all with us in case it doesn't.
We have all kinds
Trim
of,
here, trim
we
there.
have all kinds of tools. Basically, I mean, I'm looking at building a window right now, and part of it is knowing that it has to be transported. You don't want things sticking out. And
Sure.
doors, you make sure that you take the door handles off,
Sure.
so nothing's sticking out, because you know that it all has to be loaded on a truck and unloaded. But that's just part of what we do.
And what would you say would be the most challenging thing you've had to build? Not necessarily the entire set, but section or part or whatever that each of you have had to build or conceive.
Time-consuming is the cauldron. Challenging.
Yeah, the cauldron was special in that we built it here and realized we couldn't get it out of here. So that had its own.
We had a secret exit to get it out.
There we go.
But as I said, building the staircase, and I mean, I built the staircase here, assembled it here, labeled everything, and took it down. But when you get over at Marcel de Lude, reassembling the staircase was challenging. Building the
Revolving door.
revolving door.
Yeah.
And the sliding door, because walls that I thought were going to be fixed turned out not to be fixed because they removed the door, which was holding part of the set together. So yeah, these were interesting.
And the mechanism in order to open and close the revolving door,
Yeah.
we weren't able to try that until we were set up and the stage was all built.
Okay.
That was
Lindsey
tricky.
still has cramps from
Yeah, hiding behind a
opening
little.
and closing the revolving door.
Yeah,
That was a workout.
yeah. There was
I
nowhere
remember.
to try it, so yeah.
There we go. And what was some of your favorite sets that you've worked on?
I think still the murder mystery.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
I like them all. I mean, it's amazing. You hear comments about from people about how beautiful the sets were, and you realize, yeah, they really were.
We actually had people coming up onto the stage after the show
Sure.
and looking at the stage set. I mean, that was like a compliment, a good pat on our back to say, okay, we did a job that was appreciated by everybody.
So that's fun.
So, yeah.
Because it must be nice to also get some of these comments, because like you guys put in the work, right? So it's nice to like, okay, people actually appreciate the sets and not just,
Yeah.
you know.
And on that one, we had over 100 linear feet of books
Yeah, okay,
that we
yeah.
had to paint and put titles on each one and set them up in bookcases. So, yeah, that was a
A lot of work.
lot of work.
A lot of work.
And I guess A Wonderful Life was the first time we used the projection
Yeah, okay.
on screen, which was interesting, to design the set that would hold the screen and distances that had to be respected for the projection to get it right.
Because you're not just building, you're building around
Putting the
with
band-
technology, right?
Putting the band in front of it had interesting things, and Dave had some, really interesting ideas on things that we should include, and from his experience working in a studio.
Mm-hmm.
So, putting in the fire extinguisher and things like that.
And if someone were to join or want to join, let's say your team of construction or conception, what kind of advice or tips and tricks would you give them?
Join. It is a lot of fun. It's entertaining. Right now, our set construction average age is probably retirement plus. And I think we might be in trouble if we don't get younger folks in.
Newer people, so let's push it.
Yeah.
Sign up.
Yeah, we will. I remember when I got started here, Peter Crooks was sort of the master, designing and whatnot. But then I watched Peter get old, and then I realized I'm old now. And there are things that you have to be careful that you don't fall and
There we go.
people start looking for you, just physically carrying things up to put them away.
Sure.
Because there are a lot of heavy items.
I've had my heart attacks, and people are telling me you shouldn't be carrying stuff. But all this has, and our problem is our core group. We
60
keep
and
getting
over.
older.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're starting to get some younger faces.
We are, but
Yes,
I
we
think our problem might be is that we get together usually during the week, whereas younger folks are working
They're
or
limited,
at school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that might have to be adapted at some point so we can.
Of course, to welcome new people, and they don't they don't necessarily need to have a lot of experience, right? As long as it's a learning
If you
experience.
know
so.
how to hammer, if you have a technical
Sure, some basic.
or a manual talent and technical, you understand how to follow instructions.
There we go.
Then training around here is easy enough. It's
And it's fun.
It
right?
is.
It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Oh, this? Don't worry. It's just a prop. I don't smoke, never have, never will. Did I make you believe I was? If so, that just shows you how important props really are. Props bring a production to life in ways you might not even notice. Sometimes you need a real prop, like something you can actually eat or drink. That's fake. Other times, a fake prop is way easier to manage, like this guy. Much less hassle than a real dog, who can be, well, a little unpredictable. Oh, look, we're matching. See? Unpredictable. Props really do make all the difference, whether they're real, fake, or somewhere in between. The unsung heroes of any production. Now let's meet some of the people who make sure every prop hits its mark. Hi, Kate. Hi, Liz. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for
Pleasure.
having us. Yeah.
So today we'll be talking about props. So how important would you guys say that props are to a play?
They are super important because without props, the actors and actresses would be pretending everything.
Acting.
Acting. Like pretending to hold a cup
Sure.
that they actually don't have.
So it's practical to be able to
Yes.
use things, right?
Yes.
Could you explain to me a bit of the process of prop making and or finding, like when you get like the list of things to find and
Yeah, well, we get the script, and there's a list of everything that usually goes into the play. So then from there, we decide, we talk to the set design people to see what color scheme they're doing, to see if there's something that we can put together, like if there's dishes that, so they don't clash.
Complementary, yeah.
Make everything complementary.
that kind of goes with my next question. Does usually a script come with a list, or do you guys have to go through the whole play and
No,
and
it
listen
comes
to
with a
everything?
list.
Not all.
Oh.
Because the play that we're doing now, What's in a Name, that doesn't have, the script that I was given doesn't have a props list. But even when we do have the props list, there's always things that as you're going to the rehearsals, because that's what props people
Yes.
do. We go to the rehearsals and we make like a props guide so that we know what prop is needed for what act, for what page. And
'Cause I'm assuming there's moments where, let's say, I don't know, someone has to put lipstick on, and she needs like to have a purse because she's not necessarily carrying that in her
Yes.
pocket, right? And that necessarily isn't always written down.
Right.
In
No.
the script, you have to, I got to figure that out, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So you either talk to the costume people to see if because usually a purse would go with costumes. So you find out in the script if they actually walk in, put it down, or if it's actually on a table first when they arrive. Otherwise, then it would either be a prop or it would be a costume.
Because there's a fine line between what's set, what's props, and what's costumes, right?
Yes.
Because it could kind of go into
There's
any of those,
crossovers.
yeah,
Yeah.
crossovers.
So each
Yeah.
department basically has to talk to each other.
You got to work together as a team.
Yes. For example, in this play, where right now I'm helping out with sets and we're painting and what have you, we have to have a cushion and a blanket that goes with a painting for the color scheme. But we found out through reading the play that the props people have to have that blanket. So yes, we can get the blanket, but we have to make sure that that blanket goes to the props people, which the props people didn't know about.
Because, like you mentioned before, colors
Yes.
have to work. You're not going to get like a red chair if it's like an orange background, right?
Exactly.
You got to make things work.
Yes.
But let's say like a chair, would that be more the props or the set?
That's the set.
Okay, and like you
Even
mentioned,
like paintings and photos is set
Yeah.
and not prop.
unless people
Prop
touch
is
them.
Yeah,
Okay, because once an actor has to touch that item,
right.
well,
Then
like,
it
pick up, like,
becomes
run.
a prop.
Okay, okay, interesting.
Depending on if it goes on or off stage. If it stays on the stage, then it's set up by the set people.
Okay,
But if it has to be taken onto the stage by an actor or an actress, then it's a prop.
okay. And would you say that some props can even be considered a character on its own?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And how so?
The dog in Glorious
Okay.
was a character on its own. It barked and what have you. You never really got to see it until at one point
It died.
it came onto the stage dead.
That was also an interesting prop you
Yes,
had to do
yes,
as well.
yeah.
Well, see, in that case, with animals, you had the plushies whenever the dog was
Yes.
on stage,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
But it had to be a very like a realistic looking dog. We went to IKEA
Yeah.
for that one because
Yeah.
IKEA's got really good stuffed animals, like
Sure.
realistic looking.
Sure.
And with the dog though, we also had a lot of handicraft work. With we had to have when the dog passed away, we had to have a coffin, and then we did the dog
Sculpture on
sculpture with.
top. Flowers.
Oh, that took like hours to make those little
Hours.
flowers.
And it had to look like the plush dog, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good. It was it was very funny. People really liked
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then also with the dog, to show that it was dead, we had to put wires inside of it so that its arms and legs
Sticking
stayed up.
Yeah.
And also its head.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So we
Yeah.
had to kind of like take it apart to remake it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like taxidermy.
Yes.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Would you say it's important as the people managing the props to go to the rehearsals as well?
Oh yeah, that's very important. Because as the play is progressing during the rehearsals, things change. Small things might change. The way things are placed, the way things who's coming off right or left. It usually stays the same, but there are
Usually,
changes.
yeah.
And when we're doing the rehearsals, we're in a school. We're not on the stage. We're not. So it's better to be going to the rehearsals. It becomes more fluid, more easier when you're doing the actual production.
Yeah.
And also, so you guys could plan to know who's going out where and when
Yes.
as
Exactly.
well. So to know your cues.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
This is important.
sometimes even last minute when the stage is actually up and running, there is a change where it's easier for a prop to be given a different way than it was when we were practicing.
Yeah, and if you go to rehearsals too, like how a rehearsal is at the beginning and the middle and the end, and you guys both know this because you've both acted, there's such a huge difference from the beginning to the end, and just the comfort with the, and where they're standing, where the actors are standing, how they're moving, and when you're in props, it's good to know that, where they are and where they're standing. And
I'm guessing too that the other thing is sometimes some actors maybe will want to add a prop
Yes.
to their character as well, which is not necessarily
for
the script.
sure. Yeah,
Just to help
Yes.
put themselves in character, which if you guys are not rehearsals, you don't know this, but that's adding props for you guys as well.
yes,
Exactly.
And
Oh, I
while
might need
the-
a pencil, or I might need a notebook or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
while the play is being performed, when we're backstage, we're watching it all on screens. We're
Yeah.
not just sitting, we're watching everything that's going on, seeing what's being done right. And
Yeah.
if there's little mistakes or, we might have to do,
Yeah. See how we can fix something better or not.
Yeah.
Thinking on your feet, because you have to, sometimes things
Yes.
can happen even during a
Yeah.
performance,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yes. Yeah.
On average, like how many props do you guys end up having to make from scratch versus able to simply buy?
We'll say
Varies.
for each play, there's probably at least 30 props.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of them where you have to make a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the play. Like
Yeah.
if it's period pieces, then it's kind of older things that you can't find, so we might have to make them. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming also maybe you don't always want to be spending too much either, because there's a budget.
Right,
at the end of the
there's a
script as
Yeah,
well.
we're given a budget, so we have to like try to stay close to that as well. So if we can make it, then we'll make it.
Yeah.
If we can find it for cheap, we would shop at like Value Village or Salvation Army or anything like that. Or you
Ask
can
people
send
who are
out
in
an
the play.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Shopping
anybody
in
have-
members' places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or people borrowing stuff. Hey, you got this at
Exactly.
home.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you're a fan of teacups, so.
Oh yeah, I've actually have had tea sets out on plays and
Okay.
trays and what have you. Yeah.
So you got. This is why she's a great prop person. She's got everything at home.
Yeah.
And can it be hard to find certain props sometimes?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because I'm assuming like the funeral, the casket, some props can be very specific.
yeah. We had to have that made by our set people.
Yeah.
They came up with the idea of the little coffin, and then we just added on to the coffin with the flowers
And how would you make that?
out of wood.
Out of wood?
It was made out of wood and all the framing, and then also through set design, they painted it all up.
Okay.
And then, as I said, we just did the flower that looked like a sculpture of a dog.
And I'm assuming you also have to have a decent amount of creativity to be able to make certain things as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Papier mâché, you know.
Also, a lot of YouTube videos.
YouTube videos, yeah.
Yeah. For
Tutorials.
those big skylark,
Yeah.
we had to do these giant skylark
Birds.
with to be hanging on the stage. So we did that with papier mâché, actually at Liz's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that was fun.
And just for fun, which is your favorite props that you guys had to work on?
I guess the birds were fun.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was a fun play.
Yeah.
And we were like, there was a lot of things that we had to end up using black felt. Black felt was like the magic
It was.
material that we were using.
We also made that chili. Actually, I had my daughter make the chili. That went into the cupcake.
Yes. That
There we
was
go.
funny.
Yeah, I wasn't good at it, so I had my daughter make it.
You outsource.
I did.
There
We
we go.
outsourced. Yes.
And is there one prop in particular that has been difficult to make or find that stands out to you guys?
For me, it was I had to do flower arrangements in vases, and the time of year that it was, I couldn't find a lily, and I had to like look everywhere. I went to finally in another town at another dollar store. I finally found a lily because it was literally part of the play where we had to the actors had to put a lily on someone who was dying.
And how much would be considered a lot of props for a play?
We did a Terry Pratchett play, Weird Sisters. Liz wasn't helping with props. She was one of the lead roles. She played Granny, a witch. So for that play, there was 23 acts in the play. And there was like about 20 characters, 20 and people were even doing 2 roles, you know?
Yeah.
And normally when we're doing a play, we have our props on tables backstage. And usually it would be maybe 2 or 3 tables. For this play, we had at least 6 tables, long tables, and we had stickies on everything to identify, because there was swords, there was broomsticks, there was food, there was everything. It was crazy.
And I think what was easier for the props people too was to have the actor come and collect it, so that they didn't have to come and bring it to them. Because normally a props person will bring it to the actor, but where there was just so many people, it was just easier to have the actor know where it was, pick it up.
Yeah, because it was
go.
kind of full-on action. And that's something else with being a props person. You have to know, are the actors coming off left stage or right stage? So, and that had to be all labeled, and so we just basically had conversations with the actors, and they would come and take things, and we would also give them as well.
Yes,
but it was just, because it was just fluid. It was a very fluid production.
So I'm assuming you guys prefer having less props to manage than more props, because it can be a bit of a hassle. Yeah.
But it can be fun too.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of laughing.
Food. When it comes to food, 'cause you mentioned food. You got to make sure, because everyone has to be able to eat things. You got to make sure you have enough as well, right?
And drinks as well. Like in many plays, you have, drinking scotch or drinking vodka, and it has to look realistic.
Yes,
So
or
we'll
wine.
have to put, we have to put food coloring or little fruit flavored drinks and make it look real. And then we have to wash everything after.
Yes.
We're like the dishwasher.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. I remember too, because even sometimes when you have to spit out of drinks, I've had to do that as well.
Yeah.
Like you got to make sure that there's actually liquid in there, else then the joke doesn't work, right?
Right.
So
And then also what the props people have to do in between, like after you have spat something and there's an intermission, we have to clean up that spat.
fun stuff.
Yes.
To make sure for safety, right?
Exactly, for safety reasons, because the actors know not to walk in that area.
To slip.
So, not to scare anybody, but I'm assuming props is also a little bit stressful, because you have to it's important to keep track of all the props and coming on and off the stage to not lose anything, right?
Yes, we have to know the cues of the actors and which actor has the props. So basically what we do is when we have the script, we highlight and we underline where a prop is going, and then that way we know a couple sentences before and where to stand either right stage or left stage to make sure
And
that they
it's
get.
dark too.
And it's dark.
It's dark, right?
Yeah.
And so there's lights on the ground, but and there could be other people coming out, coming in.
Yeah.
People doing set changes at the same time,
And has it happened where we lost something during the play and you're
Yes.
panicking to find it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the other thing that we have to try to stress to actors is not to touch the props. And sometimes they do because they think they're helping, which they are not. One person took a gun, a fake gun, not a real gun, and put it in the drawer. And we looked everywhere, couldn't find this gun. And I had opened the drawer, but it had slid into the back of the drawer, so I had to go back down into the dungeon, find another gun that kind of looked like this to make sure it got into the actor's briefcase. And then when I talked to everybody afterwards, which I probably should have done in the first place, talked to them before I went to look for another gun, they said, "Oh, I put that gun here." And I was like, "Don't touch the props, please."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember there was also a mishap I don't think you guys worked on that one, in Murders, where I needed a book and it was missing, which is like a very important prop to the show. And you're like, oh my, and we had to improvise and find one on stage, because thankfully there was other books on the stage that we were able to sneak in. But it's the color of the book changed for the rest of the play. But sometimes you got to improvise.
Yeah, you have to think quickly.
Yeah, you always have to think on your feet, and sometimes if you know something might break or what have you, like wine glasses, we try to use more plastic wine glasses than glass, But if not, then we make sure we have extra in case something does break.
So you guys have a very important role to play in this, to make sure everything flows properly. Because if you're missing something, then that goes on to you guys a little bit, right, as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Interesting. And well, Liz, you've acted on stage many times. How important would you say props are to an actor?
I'd say it's very important because without props, you're acting with imaginary things.
Also, like in the play we did called Virtual Reality.
But that play was an exception. It worked well thanks to the actor's portrayal. However, using imaginary props can also be very challenging. The actor has to make sure what they're doing is coming across properly to the audience. Having physical props helps the actors to strengthen their acting by what is happening on stage.
So you're saying that physical props can make it easier to enhance your performance? Can help
my
you put
gosh,
you into
yes.
character as well, not just costumes, but the props.
Oh, yeah.
The things that you
Yeah.
use, right?
Like, for instance, when I was Granny the Witch, my broomstick, I couldn't fly away without it.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, but that helps, like having the broomstick in hand.
Yeah.
It changes your.
Oh, yeah, it
your
changes
posture,
your whole
it could change how you are,
demeanor.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the other thing is too, when like it's not. Let's say there's more than. So there's several actors on stage. Sometimes when some people are talking, having those some other extra props can help you keep in character by doing something and keeping you
Yes.
occupied.
Yes.
So
you're not just standing
You're not just standing there, right? So
Right.
that could be anything. Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
just-
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Even if you're just like taking a drink while someone else is talking, and
which is why it's important to have liquid in the
Yes.
in the cups, right?
exactly.
And some plays it's one person working. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you've also had to do that, maybe manage that as well. Is it useful to be a duo when you have a lot of props?
Usually it's two people.
Yeah,
doing the
usually it's
props.
two people because you have like one right and one left stage.
Yeah.
And how many plays have you guys worked on together?
Oh, 3, 4? Would you say?
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are great duo.
Oh, why
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
like working
yeah,
together.
Yeah, we have
Which is
fun.
good, right? 'Cause, I mean, you have to like who you're working with.
Yeah.
It's because she likes listening to me sing when I have my
Your headset on.
headset on.
That makes you keep coming back for more Liz.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and talking with me today.
Oh, well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it was our pleasure.
From the sets we build to the props we place, every piece of the puzzle helps create the world you see on stage. And sometimes it even includes little stars like this one. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Behind the Curtain. We'll see you next time.